This is a class. Enum is a class. So can I define this class inside another class? Yeah, that is also possible. That is also possible. Here also inside test class, I am writing what? Let's say enum direction. Enum direction. So class test and now enum direction. Enum direction. So this enum is defined inside this class test. This enum is defined inside this class test. So here also the dot class file will be created. Yes, but how? Look, your outer class name is test. Inner class, what symbol we have? We have a symbol called dollar. We have a symbol called dollar. So dollar direction dot class. Because here the class name is what? Direction. Class name is a direction. What is enum? Enum is a keyword. What is class? Class is also a keyword. What is enum? Enum is also a keyword. Save. Compile. Go to the back and check. So if you can see here, all of you, you can see here one test.class file is created, one color.class file is created, and another one is what? Test dollar direction is created. Text dollar direction is created. Okay, good, great. So that means what? What I'm trying to say you? I'm trying to say you enum is similar to a class because for enum also dot class file will be created internally. Internally dot class file is created. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of enum? What is the purpose of enum? Why we will use enum? What is the purpose of enum? Why we will use enum? Sir, enum is meant for declaring universal constant. Enum is meant for declaring universal constant. Whenever you will work in the industry, it is a small topic. A small topic. Whenever you will work in the industry, while working in the industry, if you're finding that what? I need to declare some universal constant. I need to declare some universal constant. Sir, universal constant means what, sir? I'm not understanding. Universal constant means the constant which will remain same forever. Universal constants means the constants which will remain same forever. Forever. Look, like, what are the universal constants? What are the, I'm giving you the example and then what? I will delete this. I will delete this. Just I'm giving you the example. So what are the universal constants, sir? What are the universal constant? Universal constant means let's say color name. Color name, let's say what? Red, pink, blue. So these are the name of the color. These color name will never change. This color name will never change. So these are called universal constant. Not only color name. Let's say direction. Direction means east, west, north, south. Okay. Not only that. Let's say day's name. Sunday. Like today is Sunday. Monday. Okay. Tuesday. Tuesday. Like name of the month. January, February. Like what? Like what? Like name of the season. Summer, winter, fall. Like name of the post. Name of whenever you are working in the IT industry, then some posts are what? Constant. Person will change. Post will remain same. Developer, designer, tester. So guys, I hope you got the meaning of what? What is the meaning of universal constants? What is the meaning of universal constants? Universal constants means what? Universal constants means what? The constants which will never change. The constants which will never change, those are called universal constants. Those are called universal constants. As you can see, I have given so many examples. So, what is the main purpose of enum? The main purpose of enum to declare universal constant. Okay, whenever we want to declare universal constant, we should take the support of enum. Look, so if we want to declare universal constants, universal constant, then we should use enum concept. Then we should use what concept? Enum concept. Like guys, you know already. When we need fully abstraction, then we are declaring interface. When we need partial abstraction, then we are using abstract class. When we need no abstraction, then we are using what? Concrete classes. Similarly, one more flavor came. Similarly, one more flavor came from today. What is that? Enum. So what this enum will do? It will give you the power to declare the universal constants. You can declare universal constants by using what? Enum. So the main purpose of enum to declare universal constants. Okay, now look. So if you want to declare universal constant, then we should use what? Enum concept. Enum concepts. All the universal constants must be separated. Must be separated by comma, by comma, and at the end, semicolon is optional. At the end, semicolon is optional. Semicolon is optional. All of you, semicolon is optional. So, sir, can you give one example? Look, I'm giving you one example. All of you. So, what is the example? Let's say here, example is, let's say, public enum color. Now, I'm taking what? Public enum color. Public enum color. Once I'm taking public enum color means what? Now, its file name must be color.java. The file name must be color.java. So public enum color. Sir, can you so look here? I've already taken this Eclipse ID. If I open any program, let's say class and object. And here, let's say I'm going to create one package. Right click, new package. com.ravi.enum. Enum demo. So please look, all of you. Please concentrate on your screen how I am taking the enum. So right click new. You are taking the class. You are taking the interface. You are taking the class. You are taking the interface. Now you can choose enum. You can see here enum. Enum. The name of the enum. Let's say color. Please look at all of you. For this enum also, guys. For this enum also, it is a what? It is a similar to a class. But for this enum, there is no class which is extending from this enum. I will tell you why. So generally, whenever you are taking class, please concentrate here. Whenever you are taking class, then automatically here one option is there. What? The option is there. What? By default, java.lang.object is the super class for that particular class. For our ordinary classical classes, for our concrete classes, java.lang.object is the super class. But whenever I am taking enum, and how this enum is represented, look at this enum is represented by E. Okay, chocolate color E. Chocolate color E. This enum, chocolate color E. And what is the name? The name is what? Color. The name is what? Color. No class can extend this. Why? I will tell you the reason. Click on finish. You can see public enum color. Enum is a keyword color. And now here I can declare like red, blue, pink. Semicolon is optional. If you want, you can put semicolon. Even if you are not providing, there is no issue. There is no issue. Okay, there is no issue. So semicolon is optional. Public enum color red, blue, pink. Public enum color red, blue, pink. Sir, these red, blue, pink. These are actually enum constants. Guys, learn. These are actually enum constants. Enum constants, and they are by default public, static, and final. Public plus static plus final. These are enum constants. These are enum constants, and these are what? Public, static, and final. Give me 2 minutes. I'm giving you more picture. The things will become clear. So these are what? Universal constants. You can see color. What are the universal constants? Red, blue, pink, and what? Public, static, and final. These are public, static, and final. So you can take this example. You can take this example. Look. Yes. Public enum color. Red, blue, pink. These are what? Public, static, final, and these are what? Enum constants. Enum constants. Enum constants. Okay, enum constants. Okay. So you can write here one point. Okay. all the enum constants, all the enum constants are by default public, static, and final. All the enum constants are by default public, static, and final. All the enum constants are by default public, static, and final. Sir, what is the meaning? What is the meaning? Look, actually, guys, all of you, what happens? What happens? Look, what happens? Let's say I'm going to the paint diagram. What happens? All of you. Let's say I'm going to the paint diagram. All of you. Look. So enum in Java. Hmm. Enum in Java. So what happens internally, guys? Look, so here, whenever you are writing this, look, whenever you are writing this, please concentrate to get the subject from depth. So let's say here I am writing what? Here I am writing what? Color.java. Color.java. This is my Java file. This is my Java file. Okay, this is what? Color.java. This is what? Color.java. Please wait. This is color.java. So here, actually, look, this is the color.java. When I compile this code with the help of Java compiler, when I compile this code by with the help of Java compiler, guys, with the help of Java compiler, when I compile this code, what will happen internally one color.class file will be created. Look, I'm writing then, okay, I'm writing internally one color.class file will be created. So here what will happen? Color.class. Now here this is the color.class. Inside this color.class, what will happen? Compiler will compiler will convert this .java to what? This dot class. Compiler will generate this dot class file. Now in the dot class file, what compiler is going to do? In this dot class file, what compiler is going to do? That is what I want to show you. That is what I want to show you. So please try to concentrate what exactly compiler is doing. What exactly compiler is doing. It's not looking good with paint. So let me draw what myself, so it will become more understandable, all of you. So here, let's say, when you compile this code, Java C, then what will happen? Obviously, color.class file will be created. Color.class file will be created. Color.class file will be created. Now, what compiler will do, guys? What compiler will do here? What compiler will do? Please look. So, compiler, how the compiler is going to convert this code? How the compiler is going to convert this code? All of you, look. Compiler is writing here. All of you, please look. Very important concept. Compiler is writing here public final. Automatically, compiler is adding this final. Public final class. What is the name of the class? The name of the class is nothing but your enum name. The name of the class is nothing but your enum name. So color, and every enum internally extends from what? Java.lang.enum class. Java.lang.enum class. So there is a predefined class, guys. There is a predefined class. There is a predefined class. Let me go here. Look, Java P Java.lang.enum. Java P Java.lang.enum. You can see there is a predefined class which is an abstract class. Please look at carefully, all of you. Java P Java.lang.enum. You can see public abstract class Java.lang.enum. Java.lang.enum. Java.lang.enum extends from what? Java.lang.enum. So there is a predefined class. There is a predefined class called java.lang.enum. All of you, java.lang.enum. Every enum, every enum we are creating, that enum is extending from what? Java.lang.enum. Public final class color. Public final class color extends what? Java.lang.enum. And internally what happens? Look, internally what happens? Internally, you can see your universal constant name is red, blue, pink. Your universal constant name is red, blue, pink. So what will happen here? Here automatically compiler will write public static final final color. What is color? Color is your class name. Actually, color is your enum name. That becomes your class name here. Color is what? Your enum name. That becomes class name here. Color red is equal to new color is equal to new color. Like this. So public static final color red, and here what? Color blue, and color what? Pink. Okay. So that's why we are saying these are what? These are the universal constants. These are the universal constants are what? By default, what? Public static and final. Why these are by default? Public static and final, because internally your compiler is generating this code. Internally your compiler is generating this code. Please write in the chat window. You got this point? What I'm trying to say? All of you, please write in the chat window. You got this point? What I'm trying to say? Very good. Excellent. Very good. So please keep in your mind, all of you guys, what? That internally, yes, internally compiler is going to convert this enum into class only. Compiler is going to convert enum into class only. Here, color.class file is generated. Color.class file is generated, which is extending from what? Java.lang.enum class. Which is extending from java.lang.enum class. And one more point, if you try to understand, it is very good for me or good for you also. What? Here, here what happened? Look here what happened. Here, compiler is also adding one method, which is a static method. Compiler is automatically adding one method. Compiler is automatically adding one static method. But a static method return type is what? That a static method return type is what? Your enum. Your enum. The name of the method is what? Values. 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 This is also added by compiler. This is also added by compiler. Okay, now this is also added by compiler. Okay, and it will return what? It will return what? Your return enum array. Return enum array. So guys, this is what the code, what compiler is generating internally. This is the code what compiler is generating what internally. Okay, great. Great. So all the enum constants are by default public static and final, and this is the code generated by compiler. This is the code generated by compiler, all of you. Compiler will automatically compiler will automatically generate dot class file as shown below. Just give me 1 minute time. Okay, so what will happen now? I will write this code. So you need not to go to the paint diagram as shown below. So color dot class. Here better to write color dot Java. Color dot Java and here color dot class. In the color dot class, what will happen? Once again, quickly. Public final class color extends java.lang.enum. Now here public static final color is the name of the class. Red is equal to what? New color. One is what? Red. Another one is what? Blue. Last one is what? Pink. Because you have taken three constants. You have taken three constants and these constants are public, static and final. How these are public, static and final? Because you have declared public, static and final. Okay. Okay. Good. Now you think, all of you. Now. Wait a second and you think. What you have learned in JVM architecture. So whenever a class is loaded, let's say this class color is loaded into the JVM memory. When this color class will load into the JVM memory, these all are static variable, guys. This red is a static variable. This blue is a static variable. This pink is a static variable. Guys, all these are static variables. So what you know, whenever a class is loaded, first of all, static variables are initialized with default value and then static variables are initialized with original value. Then static variables are initialized with what? Original value. Try to understand. Here, if you understand this point, then almost 50 to 60% enum is completed. If you understand this point, 50 to 60% enum is completed. Okay, 50 to 60% enum is completed. Here, one thing I forget, public static color array. What is the method name? Values. What it will return? It will return enum array. This is also added by compiler. So please concentrate, all of you. The most important point I'm explaining. What is that? The most important point. What? The most important point what? That whenever this class color will be loaded, then what will happen? All these static variable, all your static variable, red, blue, pink will also be loaded. Miss what? They are static variable. So at the time of loading this color dot class, this red, this blue, and this pink, all will initialize with null value in the prepare phase. All will initialize with null value in the prepare phase. But in the class initialization phase, all these variable will get their original value. That means this color constructor will be executed. Beautiful. Sir, can you show? Look. So let's say this is public enum color. Let me take in a single file. So let me copy this and let me delete this. If you understand this one, enum is becoming fun for you. Class enum demo. Main method, click on finish. Here I am taking what? Color enum. You cannot declare public. Remove this, you know already. Now look. That means what this is? Red, blue, pink. Don't forget. These are what? These are your universal constants. So whenever you load, how you load? Look. How you load? So you know, these are what? These are by default public, static and final. So what I can write, sysout, color is my name of the enum, which is internally a class. color dot red. So whenever I will write color dot red, whenever I will write color dot red, whenever I will write color dot red, what will happen? This enum color will be start loading. This color dot class will start loading. Once it will load, what will happen? Think, once it will load, your color class will load. Once your color class will load, all of you. Once your color class will load, this class color class is going to load. This color class is going to load. Once this color class is going to load, all your static variable will start loading. Your all static variable will start loading. All these static variable will get first value is what? Null. All the static variable will get first value is what? Null. First value they are getting what? Null. Default value in the prepare phase. In the prepare phase. When class initialization phase come, then these all static variable will initialize with original value. With original value. Original value means what? This is going to call the constructor how many times? Three times. So in the color class, internally constructor is there, default constructor is there added by compiler. Default constructor is there added by compiler. That constructor is going to call, that constructor is going to execute what? Three times. Please look carefully. The beauty of enum. What is that? Let's say here I am writing what? Non-static block. Sys out non-static block. Oh. Now one more point. Look, guys, I will tell you that point is there. That point is there. I will tell you. Look, I will tell you what. If you want to declare any member, if you want to declare any member, as for example, look, I am declaring here constructor. Listen carefully. I will declare in a you what instance block, or if you want to declare any constructor. So if you want to look, enum is meant for declaring universal constant. Enum is meant for declaring universal constant only. But if your Java has given it is to declare universal constant only. Java is telling you declare only universal constant. But if you want to declare any member, sir, I want to declare any method, I want to declare instance variable, static block, static method, all are allowed. All are allowed because it is a class. Because it is a class, all are allowed. But one restriction. What restriction? If you try to write any non-static block, any method, here semicolon is compulsory now. Then only you can write what? Non-static block or any block. Look, non-static block. Semicolon is compulsory if you are trying to write. If you are trying. Now, if you remove this semicolon, look, compilation error will be generated. So only two restriction Java compiler has given to you. Restriction number one. Semicolon is compulsory if you want to declare any other member inside an enum. Semicolon is compulsory if you want to declare any other member inside the enum. Number two, this enum constant must be the first line. You cannot write this enum constant in the second line or what? Later. If you try to write later, look, compilation error. This enum must be the first line. All points I will explain. Please don't worry. All point I will explain. I will explain in more detail. Okay. Now tell me, right in the chat window, if I run this program, this non-static block will be executed how many times? This non-static block should be executed how many times? Excellent, guys. Excellent. So all are saying what? Three. All are saying three. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Please look. Please look. So the right answer is three. Look, all of you. Look, non-static block, non-static block, non-static block. How many times executed? Three times. And then it is printing red. Why it is printing red? Here you are printing na system.out.println color.red. It is printing red here. It is printing red here. Okay, then tell me red, blue, pink, red, blue, pink, red, blue, pink, comma. Let's say yellow. Now tell me now. Obviously four times. Look, how many times? Four times. How many times? Four times. Now tell me, let's say one more, black. Then how many times? Obviously five times. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, great. If I take a static block then, If I take a static block, then a static block will be printed only one time. A static block will be printed only one time. Only one time. Please run. Look, a static block is executed only one time because class loading is possible only one time. Then tell me, it is practically proof that these all are enum constants. These all enum constants are what object? These all enum constants are what object? These all enum constants are object. Okay. Now, so you understood the non-static block. You understood the static block. Now look at the beauty of constructor. What is the beauty of constructor? Constructor beauty. Constructor you cannot declare public. Constructor you cannot declare public. If you declare public constructor, compilation error. Oh my God. If you declare public constructor, compilation error. Sir, why, sir? Why I cannot declare constructor as a public? No, you can't declare. Why, sir? Because whenever these object will be loaded, look, whenever these object will be loaded, look at the diagram, all of you. Whenever this object will be loaded, whenever this object will be loaded, this object will be loaded in the class initialization phase, it will call the constructor. It will call the constructor. So that constructor is meant for only internal purpose. That means when this static variable will get the original value, when the static variable will get the original value, all of you, when this static variable will get the original value, color, then constructor will be executed. Constructor will be executed, but that constructor will be executed for internal purpose only. From outsider, so let's say from outsider, here one person is there. Here one person is there. That person wants to execute that constructor, public constructor. It is not allowed. It is not allowed. Why not allowed? Why not allowed? Because that constructor is meant only for internal purpose. From outside, you cannot create an object. From outside, you cannot create an object for this word static variable. It is not allowed. It is not allowed. So constructor is meant for only internal purpose. Whenever this static variable will be initialized in the class initialization phase, automatically it will call the constructor. So what will happen? Your color constructor, which is available here, your color constructor, which is available here, will be executed. But it must be what? It must be private or it must be default. It must not be protected or public. Outsider accessibility is not possible. So you write, look at protected, allowed, not allowed, not allowed. So you can write private allowed, and you can write sys out constructor, constructor. Then tell me, all of you, how many times this constructor will be executed? Come on. How many times this constructor will be executed, all of you? Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So this constructor will be executed 5 times. This constructor will be executed 5 times. Why 5 times? Because you have 5 objects. You have 5 objects: red, blue, pink, yellow, black. Look, so I'm executing this constructor. Constructor. How many times constructor executed? 5 times. Now the next question is very important question. If you answer, I will become very happy. I will understand. Yes, you guys are everything. You guys understand. You guys are what? Notice. I'm taking what? Static block. Sys out. This is what? Extraordinary question. Obviously, this static block will be executed only once. No doubt about this. But this static block will be executed. No. What I'm asking first. Don't answer. Don't answer. What I'm asking first, listen. I'm asking, this static block will be executed before constructor or after constructor? Just you write before or after. Before or after? So guys who are giving the answer before, all answers are wrong. This static block will be executed after constructor, not before constructor. Look at static block executed after constructor, not before constructor. Not before constructor. Learn carefully. Sir, what I told you, look at, not only this question, not only, remember, in your enum, static blocks are always executed after constructor. It is a guarantee. It is a guarantee. I'm telling you, I'm explaining. Give me the time. Don't write why, sir. I'm explaining. Wait. In your enum, static blocks are always executed after constructor. Why? Because in the enum you cannot write a static block. In the enum you cannot write a static block here. Why, sir? Because the first line is reserved for enum constant. The first line is reserved for enum constants. You cannot write your static block. You cannot write your static block what in the first line. That means a static block compulsory you need to write. Compulsory you need to write after these enum constants. First line of any enum is reserved for universal constants. You cannot write anything. And semicolon is compulsory if you are defining any member. Now you tell me, these all are what? Forget about all this. These all are static variable now. These all are static variables, sir. So when these all are static variable, if these all are static variable, what will happen? And in the prepare phase, all these static variable will initialize with null. And in the class initialization phase, when all these static variable will get their original value, all these static variable will get their original value. All these static variable will get their original value. Look at here, original value, original value, original value. It will call the constructor, na. It will call the constructor at the class initialization phase, na. In the class initialization phase, your static variable and static block both are having same priority. It is executed according to the order. It is executed according to the order. So your static variable and static block both are having same priority. So when this raid will be executed, what will happen? It will call the constructor, na. So not only this, it will call what? 5 times constructor, and then only once your static variables are get original value, after that your static block will be executed. That is the reason a static block always executed at last at the time of what? Enum. Tell me, is it clear? Is it clear? So not only one time, always means always your static block will be executed at last in enum. What is the reason behind it? The reason is very simple. I already teach you in the JVM architecture. I already told you in the JVM architecture that a static block and a static variable both are having same priority in the class initialization phase. It will be executed according to the order. And what is the order? It is impossible to write a static block in the first line inside a enum. Why? Because the first line of any enum is meant for universal constants. You cannot write anything. The first line is reserved for universal constants. The first line is reserved for universal constants only. And constructor must be private. Why? Outside accessibility is not allowed. Outside accessibility is not allowed. You can write private, you can write default. Okay, but protected public you cannot write. Great. Now, okay, so major concepts you have learned. Now look at few now all the formalities concept. Formalities concept means what? Look at an enum. An enum we can define. An enum we can define inside a class, comma, outside of the class, and and inside a method as well. Inside a method as well. Okay, inside a method as well. I think from Java 21 version, new recently, 6 months ago, some concepts came regarding this method. I am not very sure, but yes, up to Java 20 version, you can write what? You can write what? Enum inside a method. Even I will show you practically. You can write enum, but I think 6 months before, if any concept came, I need to upgrade. So I will tell you in the classroom. Once I will get the information, I will give you in the classroom. But yes, to here you can what? You can write what? You can write any enum inside a method as well. There is no problem. Okay. Now let's see. So this point is saying what? An enum we can define inside a class, outside of the class, inside a method as well. Okay. Now next, whenever whenever don't show your excitement, otherwise what it is going to what the They are going to what, put you outside from this classroom. Okay, learn the concept, enjoy the concept. Now look at, someone is asking, can we anonymous write anonymous inner class? Wait, I will give you a very beautiful answer. Wait, but not right now. I don't want to disturb our whole class. Keep your questions. I will give you the answer. Even automatically, you will get the answer. Okay, you will get all the answers. Let me complete all the points. So whenever compiler generates dot class file, whenever compiler generates dot class file, then compiler will automatically add a static method. A static method, compiler will automatically add a static method called values. Compiler will automatically add one static method called what? Values to fetch the enum object. To fetch the enum object. To fetch the enum object, comma, the return type of this method. The return type of this method. The return type of this method is what? Enum array. What is the return type of this method? Enum array. Sir, what is the meaning, sir? What is this values method? I'm not understanding at all. Oh, wait. Actually, look. Actually, let's say I have what, these universal constants are there. Red, blue, pink, yellow, black. These universal constants are there. If I want to, if I want to look, if I want to print all these universal constants. So what option I have? Sir, I want to print, I want to fetch all my universal constant. All my universal constant, then what option I have? What option I have? Can I directly print color? No, you can't print directly color. Don't think. As a student, I can think, sir, can I directly print color? No, color is the name of the class. How you can print class? There is no provision in Java to print a class directly. So you cannot print class. Then, sir, how to fetch all these values? How to fetch all these values? So these values you can fetch, these values you can fetch by using a predefined method called values. But that values method is generated by compiler. It is not available in enum class. Guys, it is a very serious matter. That values method is not available in enum class. It is generated by compiler at the time of compilation. Okay, I will show you. Wait. So let's say here my enum name is color. Color dot what? Values. It is a static method and return type is enum array. Return type is enum array. So my enum name is color. Return type is enum array. Let's say here I'm writing what? Colors. 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 And you know it is my what? It is my array. So I can use for each loop for color. Color is my name of the enum. Color is variable. Color is variable. Colon colors. Sys out color. Run. So what it will do? It will fetch all the colors one by one. By using values method, I can fetch all the colors one by one. And all those colors I'm going to fetch by using what? By using this. By using this what? By using this color. Okay. So red, blue, pink, yellow, black. Now here once again you focus. What I want to say you, all of you, look, you once again you focus. What I want to say you. What is this color? Now look, what is the total picture will become clear. The total picture will become clear. Look. So actually, these are universal constant, you know. These are universal constant, you know. So when Java, guys, when Java is creating this object, now this is also 5 minutes are very, very important. When Java is creating this constant, then internally Java has a protected constructor. Internally in the enum class, Java has a protected constructor. Protected constructor. That protected constructor will provide what? Two things: name plus order position. Order position. All of you look at. So you already understand what is values method. You already understand what is values method. It is a static method. It is a static method. So it is a static method. And look, if I'm from my home, I'm pressing control key. Options are not available. Options are not available. You can also press in your home. Like we are going now where this values method definition is there, but this option is not there. Look, where I am going here, option is there. But when I am moving to values method, options are not available. Why? Why options are not available? Because values method is added by compiler. Values method is added by compiler. If I go here, look, I can go here, but values method I cannot go. Okay, anyhow. So actually, when this enum is going to load and when your constructor is called, no argument constructor is called, from constructor chaining concept, they are calling what? They are calling another constructor. That constructor is a protected constructor. That constructor is a protected constructor. I am showing you. And from that constructor, you can put what? Your name. What is the name? Red. And from that constructor, you can also put your order position. What is the order position? Red order position is 0. Guys, learn carefully. Red order position is 0, blue order position is 1, pink order position is 2, like that. So two things. One is name and another one is order position. Sir, these are? Where these are? Look, I'm showing you. Color dot toString. Now, most of the methods in Enum, which is an abstract class, is final method. So you can't override. Okay, I'm showing you one by one. One by one. Look, I'm going to Enum class. From where toString method is coming? ToString method is coming from enum class. Look, what is the class name? The class name is enum. Abstract class enum. From which version it is available? 1.5. What is this? Look, in this you have a, first of all, in this enum class. In this enum class, sir, what enum class, sir? Enum class means what? Whenever you are creating this enum, whenever you are creating this enum, so this enum is extending from java.lang.enum class. Any enum is extending from what? Java.lang.enum class. Enum class. So inside this enum, what you have? Inside this enum, first of all, you have a what? Final string name. It is a blank final field. It is a blank final field. Final string name, blank final field. Next, you can see you have a name variable. Sorry, name method, which is a final method. By using this name method, you can fetch the name. You can fetch the name. So, sir, can I use here name also? Can I use here name also, like here, instead of this toString, color dot name? Yeah, beautiful. Done. Look, same output. Same output. Color dot name, same output. But name is what? Name is a final method. Name is a final method. Okay, it is a final method. Public final string name. Final method means you cannot override. You cannot override means you cannot change the name. The logic is very, very important. Final method cannot be overridden. Then there is another variable called ordinal that I will talk you. I will talk right now. Ordinal. It is also final. Blank final field. Ordinal. Sir, what is this ordinal? This ordinal will give you the order position of enum. What is the order position of enum? Like red order position is 0, blue is 1, pink is 2, yellow is 3, black is 4. Sir, can you show? Yes. So instead of name, you can go and you can write ordinal. Look, ordinal. Ordinal. Return type is integer. Ordinal is a method also. Ordinal is a method. Ordinal is a method. Return type is integer. It is a final method. It is also final method. Public final int ordinal. Public final int ordinal. Let's see, go. Look, public final int ordinal. What it will return? It will return the order position. What is the order position? Very simple. Look. What is the order position? Okay, wait. If I print only order position, it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So better to print like this. Look. Wait. Color dot name. Name is optional. Name is optional. Colon. Color dot audition. Ordinal position. Look at. Red. What is the red position? 0. What is the blue position? 1. What is the pink position? 2. What is the yellow position? 3. What is the black position? 4. I hope you are getting. You can find the order position. Look. So what I want to show you this point. Whenever compiler generates .class file, then compiler will automatically add a static method called values to fetch the enum object. Return type of this method is what? Enum array. So what is the return type of this method? Enum array. Look at public. Whatever enum you have, what is the name of the method? Values. Okay. With that, you understood one more concept, what? Every enum, every enum constant contains order position. Every enum constant contains order position which starts from number 0. We can we can fetch or we can retrieve the order position. Guys, we can retrieve the order position by using ordinal method. By using ordinal method of enum class. What is the signature? Public final int ordinal. Okay, now public final int ordinal. All of you. Final int ordinal. Now, what is the mystery? Miss what? You go to anywhere. Look, I'm going from starting. All of you. Look, enum class name method, ordinal variable, ordinal method. This is the protected constructor, what I was talking about. Protected constructor, it is taking string name and int ordinal. Means by using this constructor, I'm initializing my blank final field. By using this constructor, I am initializing my blank final field. This name will become red and order position will become 0. This name will become red and order position will become 0. You know very well, blank final field must be initialized till constructor body execution. Your blank final field must be initialized till constructor body execution. So inside this constructor, which is a protected constructor, now you are initializing your name and order position. That's why I told you. That's why I told you what? I told you what? Actually, where I told you. So whenever you are writing this, now what happens? Or order position, it's order position. Okay, in the Eclipse ID I told you. Here. So here, this name and what? Order position. Name and order position. Two things is provided by the constructor. That constructor is protected. Okay. Now, toString method. It is not public. It is not final. ToString. You can also use toString. It is not final. That means you can override toString method. Equals method coming from object class. Passcode method, object class. Clone. If you want to create duplicate object. Compare to method. Return type is integer if you want to compare to enum object. Get declaring class, no use. Describe constable, no use. Value of usable is there. Value of usable method is there. Finalize, deprecated from Java 9. Read object for serialization. Read object, no data, whatever. Enum description. Look at public. Since Java 12 version, public static final class. Enum description extends for enum. That means what? It is your inner class. Inner class. Okay, inner class toString. Anywhere are you finding values method? Anywhere you are finding values method? Write in the chat window. Are you finding values method? Please look very carefully. Values methods are not available. Values methods are not available, guys. Please, if anyone is asking, Java P, java.lang.enum. Look. So if you go from top to bottom, here you will get the complete summary, java.lang.enum. You can see here public abstract class java.lang.enum. Here name, here ordinal, order position, both are final. Both are final. Here your constructor, which is taking string and name. This constructor is what constructor? Protected. Here toString method. ToString method is not final, you can override. Equals method is final. You can't override. That means equals method is java.lang.object class equals method. You cannot override. Haskell is also java.lang.object class. Clone method is also final. Compare to method is also final. Here, get declaring class, no use, final. Describe constable and value of finalize and compare to. Value of finalize and compared to. There is no values method. So if anyone is asking, please try to explain that values method is added by Java compiler. Values method is added by Java compiler, all of you. Values method is added by Java compiler at the time of compilation of your code. Okay, fine, great. Now let me add more, few more points when this topic theoretical part will be completed. Okay, so public final int ordinal, it is a order position, but what is? It's a final, you cannot override and you cannot provide your own order position. Now some beautiful points. Look, what? Sir, intentionally, now listen, this point is very, very important. Intentionally, the guys who has already learned records in my offline classroom, they will understand or you can compare this concept with your record. You can compare this concept with your record. Batch number 39, 30, 40, you wait. When record will come, at the time of teaching record, I will tell you this point. Who has already learned record, you can go. If you have not learned, then at the time of teaching record, I will what compare this point. Intentionally, Java has done like this. Look, intentionally, Java has done like this. What Java has done intentionally? Intentionally, Java has make this class as a final, and intentionally, Java has extending this class from java.lang.enum. Java has done intentionally the same thing as Java has done in record also. Records are implicitly final and records are extending from java.lang.record class. Why Java has done like this? Why Java has done like this? Java has done like this due to two reasons. Look, any class is there. Let's say I have a class. Let's say I have a class Ravi. Any class is there. Class Ravi. Class Ravi. Here class Ravi is there. Then tell me, if class Ravi wants to extend, if class Ravi wants to extend, okay, if class Ravi, let me write here. Let me write here. Look, here I am writing class Ravi. Class Ravi. Then tell me, if class Ravi wants to extend, if class Ravi wants to extend from what color? I'm writing what? Extends color. Is it possible? Not possible. Why not possible? Tell me, why not possible? Because look, try to understand. Any class which is final cannot be inherited. Any class which is final cannot be inherited. So your color class Java has intentionally make is what final. Compiler is adding this final. So no class can what extend this enum. Sir, why Java has done like this? Sir, Java has done like this. Why? Because enum features are different from class features. Like record features are different from class features. So they don't want to merge these two concepts together. Then otherwise, what is the difference between enum and class? What is the difference between enum and class? Please try to understand, guys. Please try to understand. Otherwise, there is no use of enum, writing enum. So intentionally Java has done what? Intentionally Java has done this. Why? So no one can extend what enum. No one can extend enum. No one can extend enum. If anyone try to extend enum, compilation error will be generated. Why? Because this enum is implicitly final. Okay. Similarly, let's say now think about another situation. What is another situation? You have a what color? This thing here, color. This color I am talking about. So this color, enum color, this color wants to write extends Ravi. Extends Ravi. Compilation error. Why? Every enum is extending from what? Java.lang.enum. Java does not support multiple inheritance using classes. So every enum is extending from java.lang.enum by default. Every enum is extending from java.lang.enum by default. So this enum cannot extend any other class. That means what restriction they have provided. Look, what restriction they have provided, all of you. What restriction they have provided? They have provided a restriction what? They have provided a restriction what? Every enum extends from java.lang.enum class. So enum cannot extend any other class. Look, every enum implicitly extends from java.lang.enum class. Java.lang.enum class. So enum cannot extend any other class. Every enum implicitly extends from java.lang.enum class, so enum cannot extend any other class. Okay, now every enum is by default, every enum is by default final. You know, every enum is implicitly, every enum is implicitly final. Every enum is implicitly final. So any class cannot extend an enum. So both way it is not possible. Both way it is not possible. You cannot extend, you cannot inherit. So look here, test.java, all of you look at this test.java. Let's say class test, guys, class test. Class test, I am writing what? Extends color. Save. Compile. Look, error. Line number 5, error. What? Cannot inherit from final color. Cannot inherit from final color. Who has declared final? Internally, compiler is declaring final. So line number 5, compilation error. Line number 5, compilation error. Guys, I hope you are understanding my point. Okay, line number 5, compilation error. And similarly, let's say if any enum extend a class, extend states, it is also not possible because every enum extending java.lang.enum. Look, class color extends test, impossible. Enum constant expected here. Enum constant expected here. So I hope you got the point. Okay, next. Every enum first line is reserved for enum constants. Every enum first line is reserved for what? Enum constants. Enum constants. So we can't write anything. We can't write anything. Simple. We can't write anything. Now, as we know, an enum is implicitly a class. So we can write static comma non-static variable. You can write a static and non-static variable comma static and non-static block comma static and non-static method. Next, a constructor defined inside an enum must be either private or default. Okay, public and protected constructors not allowed. Okay, now public and what? Protected constructor not allowed. Public and protected constructor not allowed. Okay, now so a constructor defined inside an enum must be either private or default. Here I have written what? Every enum first line is reserved for enum constant, so we can't write anything in the first line. And that is the reason a static block is always executed after constructor. That is the reason a static block is always executed after constructor. A constructor defined inside an enum must be either private or what? Default. Either you can write private or you can write what? Default. Good. every enum object, every enum constants are of object of type enum. So every enum constants are what? Object of type enum, because you are creating the object internally. Internally, you are creating the what? Object. So they are what? Object of type what? Enum. Okay. So at a time of loading enum class, I'll look at one more point. At a time of loading enum class, look at here, one more point, all of you. Very important, look at, very important. Let's say here I am changing, here also I am changing. Let's say here I am writing what? Color, not color, enum season. Enum season, what is the season? Let's say summer. Guys, look at summer. Here also you can pass what? You can pass in the summer, you can pass some value. Let's say summer is what? Hot. Summer is hot. Look. Now, whenever I am writing summer is hot, compilation error is generated. Learn this one very carefully. Understood? Understood, all of you? Okay. Look. So summer I am writing what? Then summer I am writing what? Hot. Summer I am using what? Hot. Okay. Next, let's say winter. Winter I am writing here cool. Then why it is generating compilation error? Why it is generating compilation error? Why it is generating compilation error? Think. It is generating compilation error. Why? Because look, let's say here I'm writing what? Rain. Now there is no compilation error. Sorry, here comma. Now there is no compilation error for rain. Why there is no compilation error for rain? Because it is finding the appropriate constructor, default constructor.
Default. Default construct, not parameterized.
Understood?
Yes.
It is finding the what? Appropriate constructor. It is finding the appropriate constructor means what constructor? It is finding the parameterized, no argument constructor. No argument constructor. Do one thing, all of you. Private season string season type. The moment I have written private season string season type, now I am getting compilation error here. Why? Because when we have written parameterized constructor, then definitely compiler will not add. So we are getting compilation error here. That means now for this one, we need to write our own constructor, private season, no argument constructor. Our own no argument constructor. Sys out, let's say what? Rain. And here what I can write? Sys out, season type, run. Look, run means first you need to load now. So season dot what? Load just season dot summer. Season dot summer. Hot, cool, rain and summer. Hot, cool, rain and summer. That means what you learn? Tell me. What you learn from here? Then at a time, guys, at a time of loading, loading, or at a time of what? Means what? Every enum constant is of type object. Understood? So at a time of loading a static variable, these are the static variable. At a time of loading a static variable, what a static variable of enum, appropriate constructor will be executed. At a time of loading enum, appropriate constructor will be executed. Tell me, you understood this point, all of you? Please write in the chat window. Understood? So we can what? Look. Yeah, yeah, that is what. Okay, I forget to write you. Someone, yeah, fine, fine, fine. I forget to write you. Look at here. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Okay, here. So every enum is implicitly extends from java.lang.enum class. So we enum cannot extend any other class. Enum cannot extend any other class, but it can implement an interface. Yeah, enum can implement an interface, no problem. Enum can implement an interface. Let's say here I have an interface. All of you. Interface movable. Wide move. Wide move. And here I'm writing what? Implements. This is common sense. Implements movable.
No problem.
What I need to do? Override move method.
Yes.
Move method overridden.
Yes.
Happy.
Yes.
So enum cannot extend a class but implements an interface. Enum cannot extend a class but implement an interface, no problem. Even record also. Even record also. If you remember record 38 and 39 and 40, 38 and 37 batch. So records can also implement so many implements we have implemented. So yes, enum cannot extend a class, but it can implement an interface. It can implement an interface. Whatever. Look, at a time of enum class, look at a time of loading enum class, at a time of loading enum class, a static variable will be executed. So appropriate constructor will be executed. Appropriate constructor will be executed. Guys, try to understand. So this is calling what? This is calling one parameterized constructor. This is calling one parameterized constructor. What parameterized constructor? Because you have password string. So it is taking what string type of parameterized constructor. If you take integer, compilation error. Because now you need to pass integer value. You need to pass integer value. So here, whenever you are passing what, whenever you are passing this, whenever you are passing this, what happened? Actually, you are going to take what appropriate constructor will execute. Appropriate constructor will execute. Whenever you are passing this, appropriate constructor will execute. Is it clear, all of you? Come on, quick, quick, quick. So appropriate constructor will be executed. Appropriate constructor will be executed. Whenever you are passing, you can pass some value in your constant. Appropriate constructor will be executed. Okay. Almost completed, sir. Now look, almost completed. Now, two or three more points are there. Look what? Look, an enum, an enum represents universal constant. So we can pass enum constants in switch case statement. When I was teaching you switch, I told you. When I will teach you enum, I will tell you that we can pass enum also from 1.5 version. String we can pass from 1.7. String we can pass from 1.7 and string we can pass from 1.7 and enum we can pass from 1.5. Okay. Next. In enum class, in enum class, name and ordinal both are final methods. So both are final methods. So we can't override, we can't override, hence we can't change the name, we can't change the name and order position. Hence we can't change the name and what? Order position. Now we can compare, we can compare two enum constants by using double equal to operator, or final equals method. Final equals method. Final equals method given by enum class. Okay, na? Final equals method given by enum class. So guys, these all points of enum, all these points of enum. Okay, all these points of enum. Okay, and one last point is what? Look, one last point is what? One last point is what? As I told you, we can define an enum. We can define an enum what? Look, we can define an enum inside a class, outside a class, and inside a method also. Inside a method also. So if you define an enum inside a class, look, all of you, last point. Let's say here, if I'm writing enum color. So can I write private? Obviously no. Obviously no. Why? Because internally it is also a class. Class means what? It is representing what? It is representing class only. So you cannot declare private, you cannot declare protected. Why? Internally it is a class only. Okay? Internally it is a class only, you cannot declare. But let's say inside a class, if I declare, let's say I have a class Ravi. Inside a class, if I declare an enum. Now it is an inner class concept actually. Enum season. Okay, A comma B, let's suppose. So now this is can be declared private. Yes. This can be declared what? Protected. Okay. This can be declared static. This can be declared no abstract cannot no final. This can be declared what? Final, not abstract. Final we can declare yes. Illegal modifier for the member inner is only public, protected, private, or static. Okay. Final also we cannot declare. Final also we cannot declare. So what we can declare? What we can declare? Look at actually in inner class we can declare what? Abstract and final. Here in the enum we cannot declare what? Final and abstract. When I will show you the program, I will tell you the logic. Okay, why it is not possible. Look, so here where I have written the point, we can define here. Here you can see an enum we can define inside a class, outside of the class, and inside a method as well. Now here I have to add one point. If we define inside a class, then we can declare an enum with private, protected, public,
Final.
static, modifiers. Okay, we can't declare
Final and abstract.
final and abstract. Final and abstract. So guys, all points I have told you about enum. These are all the points I told you now. Now already it's 11 a.m. So today we are unable to complete the what programs because almost 15 programs are there. If I go, total 15 programs are there. So 15 programs means almost it will take half an hour. So we will do in the next Sunday, no problem. We will do in the next Sunday. Now, I hope you got the concept, you got the enum. Why we can't declare final and abstract, I will tell you in the programming part. Okay, when I will write the program. Now, if you have any question, you may ask. Yeah. So final is not allowed, abstract is not allowed. Yeah, it is by default final. That's absolutely true. Enum is by default final. Enum is by default final. That's why final is not allowed. Sir, why we can't use public and protected constructor? Okay, Jatin, actually why you can't use public and protected constructor? Look, why you can't write public and protected constructor here? Look here. Actually, whenever this is a final variable, this is a final variable, and this is a static variable. Try to think first, relax. It is a final and static variable. Final and static variable. So once it is a final and static variable, then what will happen? Once it is a final and static variable, what will happen? At the time of class initialization phase, this red variable will initialize with original value. So original value means what? It will call the constructor which is available, default constructor. What Java is saying what? I am not allowing you to create the object from outside. Let's say I am outside. This is my outside class. So from outside also I can do na what? Color C is equal to new color. Why? Because ultimately color is a class. Ultimately this color is a class. So outside I can do na color C is equal to new color. So whenever I will try to do, what will happen? The whole purport will be defeated now. Because enum is what? Enum is what? Those constants, those universal constants. These universal constants are what? Created object by using this. Understood? Okay. Next question. That's why from outside it is not allowed. Jatin, from outside it is not allowed to create the object for any enum. That is why using constructor chaining Wimless. For more information, you can generate decompiler. Then you will get the idea. Okay? No, anonymous is not possible. Why anonymous is not possible? Because your enum is implicitly final. Hers. So anonymous means what? Anonymous inner class is meant for extending a class, na? Anonymous inner class is meant for extending a class. Look, someone is asking this. It is not possible. Who is asking? Sridhar. Okay. Now ask quick question. Quick question. We have protected constructor. That is what I have given the answer. Thanks. Anonymous enum is not possible. Understood all of you? Hers understood you my question? Answer you understood? Who is saying? You must be from batch 40. Bharat is saying what? Sir, I have a doubt in constructor. Can we say using this in constructor chaining? Yes, you can say no problem. Using this and super both are constructor chaining. When constructor names are same, parameters are different, then it is called constructor overloading. Whenever you are calling from one constructor to another constructor by using this or by using super, it is called constructor chaining.
Super this की overloading.
Can the function toString method from enum can be modified? What could be the modifier? You can override this toString method to provide your own name. By using what? By using that name method, which is final method, you cannot replace the name which is given by enum itself by using protected constructor. Whatever the name you have given, that name cannot be changed by using protected constructor by using constructor chaining topic. But if you want to provide your name, then you can call toString method. You can override toString method. The modifier is what same? That is a method overriding rule, all method overriding rule, wiki. Obviously, it is a very useful in industry. Let's say very simple. Very soon, I will give you one scenario based question also. So in industry, whenever you are representing what universal constant, let me first. My laptop battery is very low. Just give me 1 minute.
और protected parameter.
If you don't have any question, you can leave the meeting. All of you. Class is over. If you have any question, please ask. Tell me. Next, who is asking question? That in the industry, let's say what? Let's say in industry, you are talking about any designation. Om. So designation is what? Let's say one designation is manager, one designation is salesperson, one designation is HR. Then what you will do? Why you will write this in a class? So that time what? You can simply write enum, and by using enum you can what use those variables everywhere in your project, because they are by default public, static and final. They are by default public, static and final, so from everywhere it is accessible. Those enums will be accessible from everywhere. That is the beauty. Prakash is asking, in java.lang.enum class, we have a protected constructor. It was taking the name and ordinal sir. Sir, that is the constructor chaining topic. I told you, no? If you want more, you can go decompiler, but that is not required for you. Okay, you first you learn how to ride a car. Then later you will understand how to create a car. Okay, if you know that much of level of means wow, it is happening internally. So decompiler is required, and obviously you are a Oracle developer because you can develop your own class. So first you need to learn what that whenever I'm passing any value inside an enum, then it is calling appropriate constructor or appropriate parameterized constructor is required. Appropriate parameterized constructor means what? If I'm passing a string, string constructor required, otherwise integer constructor required. First learn how to use this. I think Vinod, I have already answered why the constructors are only private and default, not protected. Not protected. You cannot declare protected, only private and default. Again, you are saying the same question. When I told you now, outside accessible, not possible. From outside, no one can access this constructor. It is for internal use only. If you declare constructor public, if Java compiler will allow you, then you will create the object now. You can perform, no problem. You can perform constructor chaining, no problem. You can write two constructor. I have written in front of you two constructor now. Yeah, object class is a super class. Because actually java.lang.enum, from java.lang.enum class is extending from object. Pavani, java.lang, let's say you have written enum color. Enum color is what writing internally. Enum color extends java.lang.enum. Then enum class is extending from object. You guys are sleeping when I'm explaining the concept, Sujit? Huh? Or you are going outside by recording the class? How many times I need to tell you? This is meant for internal purpose only. Why the constructor you cannot write? Why the constructor you cannot write protected or public? Because whenever this a static variable, whenever this a static variable will what? Whenever this a static variable, this is a static variable. When this static variable will initialize at a time of class initialization phase in JVM architecture you have learned, then automatically it will call the constructor now. So here your constructor must be what? Private, or your constructor must be what? Default. Why? If you not make public, if you make public, then anyone from outside, anyone can create the object. It is meant for internal purpose. For these three static variables, that constructor will be executed internally. Otherwise, anyone will create the object from outside, guys. If public will allow, then what will happen? From outside, I can call this constructor, I can create the object now. I hope you got the point. Okay, so I think I have answered all the questions. Okay, that's all for today. That's all for today. Thank you all of you. Only notes I will share. Okay.